What is up, guys? Nwo Udochi here, and welcome to episode 25 of phase 1 of the project Overunner. That's right, no quips or funny remarks today because I'm really excited about this episode. We're almost done with phase 1, guys, as this is the second to the last episode of the phase, unless something weird happens along the way. I am very happy with how far this game has come, and I'm especially happy with what we are going to be creating today, as this will add a new level of uniqueness to this entire project. So before we start, we are going to start by creating an energy bar, and then after that we will be creating the character abilities. So before we begin with the actual coding, I first want to explain the ins and outs of abilities in this game. All characters will have 3 abilities: active, passive, and signature abilities. Each new ability will be unlocked depending on the level your character is at. So first of all, when you get a brand new character in this game at 1 star, you start off with an active ability. And this ability is upgraded for every gold star you get up to 5 stars. After this, you can upgrade your gold stars to diamond stars, and this unlocks your passive ability, which is also upgraded for every diamond star you get, up to 5 stars as well. Once your diamond stars are maxed out, you unlock your character's signature ability, which is easily your character's best ability. So what's the distinction between each of these abilities? Well, the active ability, as the name states, is an ability you can basically use at any time. Actively use, but you have to activate this yourself. The passive ability is the opposite, as it is always active. It either activates by itself when certain conditions are met or is constantly active. The final signature ability is akin to a super move or a desperation move in other games. It's a cool ability meant to enhance the character's already existing kit and give you a chance to come back from a really bad one or make use of an advantageous situation. It's like a comeback mechanic, so to speak. But before we start working on the abilities that the characters will have, let's first talk about what is needed to even use said abilities. Energy. Both passive and signature abilities should consume energy. I say should because some characters will be unique enough that they just might not consume any energy or will consume very little. I'm still 50-50 on if passive abilities should consume energy. Like for now they don't, but depending on how things go that could change, or perhaps some characters passive will consume energy and some characters passive won't, but it all depends. At first I wanted energy to be its own video, but I had already started this episode, so I just decided to sort of combine them together. So to begin, I created this blue bar underneath the health bar. This is going to be the energy bar. Unlike health, energy will start at 0% and then will slowly build up to 100. I am going to go ahead and hook this up to my script to get it working. Alright, that's done. As you can see, despite my game currently running, since I haven't left the starting point, my energy won't start building up. So when I do start running, my energy will start rising. Okay, so with the energy bar finally created and the script worked out, in the previous video when we created power-ups and environmental hazards, we didn't create any that affected energy because the bar wasn't available at that time. So let's do that right now. Okay, so I've created these two new objects. The cylinder that is a power pack. If I eat it, I will gain power, while the sphere is the EMP. If I eat it, I will lose power and be unable to generate any more power for a specific amount of time. Okay, so let's test this out. And oh yeah, it works exactly as intended, especially the EMP. I am very glad with how that turned out. So let's finally start creating the character abilities, and the first ability, which is the active ability my character has, is going to be force field, represented by this cool looking sphere right here. So the force field is unlike the shield because, as the name says, it's only affected by force. This means that when you activate it, it remains active until it comes in contact with an obstacle. Okay, so this is where I explain my intent with these character abilities a lot more. So far in the game, it's been pretty straightforward. Sure, power-ups, hazards, and interactions and so on shook things up a bit. But I want these character abilities to show you guys just how much potential this game has, how high the skill ceiling could be, while also having a low barrier to entry. So to start this, I decided to make these test character abilities way more complex than I initially planned. Not so complex that that they'll take forever to code, but complex enough to show you guys just what is possible with the current system. Because eventually I will be creating these incredibly complex character abilities to ensure that everyone has at least one character they can resonate with. So for this force field, you're simply going to activate it once, and then when it hits an obstacle, it shatters. So then you can activate it again. Sorry, just kidding. It's going to be way more complicated than that. Not way more, but a lot more complicated than that. So you will actually be able to strengthen your force field for less energy than it takes to activate it. So for instance, if you activate a force field for 30 points of energy, granting you 25 shield hit points, you can strengthen the force field for 25 points of energy, or for 25 additional shield hit points at the cost of 20 points of energy instead of 30. This means you can now tank hits from multiple obstacles instead of just one. But to make the effect even cooler, I want the opacity of the force field to increase or decrease depending on the amount of damage the force field can take or has taken. So I'm going to modify my script to show you exactly how I want this to work. Alright, that is done. As you can see, I have lined up these 5 well-spaced barriers to show you all how the force field works. But first, let's just let's just disable these barrels. So now that the barrels are disabled, we can test the actual strengthening of the force field. By the way, I set up an abilities button. It's meant to make things much easier to activate. It's the D key on my keyboard. So with that, basically all button functionalities are covered. I remember I revealed that so long ago, the secret fourth button. Yeah, that was the power up button. I'm quite proud that we have finally come to this stage. As you can see, when I press the D key, I activate the force field. But it's certainly very transparent because it's not been strengthened. So when I press the D key again, it becomes more opaque, and when I press it again, it becomes even more opaque. I can do this one more time, and then it's at max opacity, or it's been max strength. So now I am going to reactivate these barrels and then run through them. Since I'm at max force field strength, let's see what's going to happen. As you can see, I can run past all of these barrels, and each time my force field gets more transparent. Very cool. So that's it for active skill, guys. I am going to go on to the passive skill right now. So the passive skill follows the same principle, something that was complex but not too complex that it took too long to code, and thinking of this eventually gave me an idea. What if I use perhaps the most underused button in this game for the character passive ability? Now, the stop button isn't a button that has found a lot of uses so far. Like in this game, the way it is currently designed, there really isn't any reason to stop. Eventually there will be, I'll make sure of that, but right now, not so much. So this is, the character passive ability is going to be that reason. Whenever his speed drops below 1, he will build energy at 3 times the normal rate. It's pretty simple, but I feel like it adds the right amount of depth and complexity to this character. It also allows you activate your shields a lot more confidently, or force fields. They're actually force fields. So I'm going to go ahead and modify my movement script to ensure that stopping my character increases his power gain. Alright, that's done, so let's test this out and see how it works. As you can see, whenever I stop, my character's power generation gets much faster. A pretty low tier passive, but a passive nonetheless. So let's move on to the final boss of character abilities, the signature ability. Now this ability is going to be really unique and in my opinion really cool. This ability was inspired by an ability Omega Rugal from the King of Fighters series would use, where he would generate a force field that could block attacks and then toss that force field at his opponents. So yeah, this character's signature ability will be the ability to toss his force field towards obstacles and other opponents. Remember when I said some character abilities will not use energy? Well, that was some quick foreshadowing, because for this ability, it will use no energy at all. At first I wanted it to consume very little power, but eventually I just decided, nah, to hell with it. But to ensure that he's balanced, I have placed his active ability on a 5-second cooldown. So whenever you activate or strengthen a force field, you need to wait 5 seconds before you can do it again. So the force field you toss out would have various properties based on how strengthened it was before you tossed it out. Remember, complex but not too complex. So that's it for this video, guys. I think this is officially the longest video I have ever made on this channel. Like, we did so much in this one and I am very proud of how far this game has come. If you stuck around to the end and you're seeing this, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope more people will watch to the end like you. I absolutely love you guys. And unfortunately, this video has no new assets to add to my Patreon, but you should still check out my Patreon as it contains all kinds of cool props, character tutorials, animations, and many more perks and bonuses I'm sure you'll enjoy. So once again, thank you very much for watching. God bless you all for sticking with me this far, and I will see you in the next video.